What's good? What's good? Welcome to the Epic Entertainment Critics. I'm Antoine, and I am going to do a movie review. I'm about to do a movie review on Prey. Uh, the Predator 5 is the latest Predator movie. Just dropped. It's on Hulu. Wasn't bad. Wasn't bad. I'm gonna give my full thoughts on it. Um, but before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead show this trailer, give people a little refresher what the movie looked like, and then I'm gonna be back with my full review.
Why do you want to hunt?
Because you all think that I can't. I saw a sign in the sky. I'm ready.
Maoy. Nita.
There's something out there. I'm coming with you.
You can't.
I'm trying to protect you.
Protect me from what? It's time.
It knows how to hunt. I know how to survive. Whatever did this, I can kill it.
All right, Predator 5, Prey. They should just say Predator 5, subtitle Prey. Just calling it Prey. But okay, so Predator 5, it was pretty good. So this was set back in I think the 1700s maybe. This was I guess this was before America was established. So this is Native Americans, and at this time, the French used to come over and do like fur trapping and stuff. So and then you still had Native Americans that was, on the land, and they I guess at the time, it wasn't like a war going on for the land, So it was kind of like you come over here, you could do that over there. We already here, so it's kind of an understanding. But yeah, so it's centered around the main character. I forget her name, but she's more like a tomboy, I guess, because she's like a warrior, right? So, and of course, in most of these cultures, female do domestic stuff and the males go out and hunt and all that. So she wanted to hunt and do all that stuff, and she was good. And then she had that dog. Dog was very smart. Like I know that, I know the dogs are smart, but this dog was a little too smart. like, okay, dogs can follow commands, but she talking to the dog like he was a person. Like, hey, yeah, go around there, wait for me. Like, I don't think it worked like that. I just thought that you got to kind of give it a command, it'll follow the command. But she was kind of like talking to it like a person, like, having a conversation, and the dog like, all right, got you, no problem. Like, no. It wasn't a command. You had a conversation. It don't work like that. So, but it worked for the plot because the dog was very helpful, It was a cool dog. I don't know what kind of dog it was. Maybe it's a dingo. I don't know. But it was a cool dog because he was very helpful. When she was hunting and stuff. So that was cool. So as we know, the predator watches people in a conflict, and then it hunts the strongest one. Excuse me. It hunts the strongest one, and so it was just like observing nature, and it saw like wolves chasing down other small animals, and it was like, okay. So then it killed the wolf, and then it saw, people hunting other people, and it's like, okay, well, I'm going to chase the stronger people. So this is the thing. We got the predator that he's got all his tech, all the tech you see in. Actually, he got some weapons I ain't seen yet. So he got all the tech that you see in the original Predator, where he's got the gun. Oh no, actually, he still got the laser sighting, but he used like a arrow. It shoots out like a spear like thing that ricochet or something. It's not that same gun. It's not the same laser gun, but it's the same laser sighting on there. The weapon's kind of cool. They made it a little more primitive, but it still was real advanced technology. He has his camo still. It's I ain't gonna say the CGI wasn't. It was good, but it was a kind of. It's funny how the CGI. I don't know if the original seemed a little better, even though the original was. I don't know how they exactly did the original, what technology they used to do the original, but the original felt a little better. This one just felt just a bit more unrealistic looking. But because this is the thing about the original. Original felt like somebody was really there in the camo. This one, I could just clearly tell that it's just a full CGI character there. So anyway, it worked though, because it when they was fighting, sometimes the camo kind of go out or whatever, and then some animals could sense that he was there and will attack him even in his camo. Even with his camouflage on. So that was those things was kind of cool. So I'm gonna talk about those animals too. So it appeared they used full CGI animals. They might have used an animal or two, like the dog was real, but they had like a CGI bear and like the snake and all that, and it didn't look that real. It looked cool. Now I know I'm trying to adjust because I'm used to practical effects. I've always been a fan, but I know that for a director, you want to work with. I mean, CGI just works better for a director because animals you got to train, you got to get them to do exactly what you need to do when you want them to do it. Sometimes they don't cooperate. Sometimes they just sometimes an animal, especially like a bear, he might just say, "Hey, not today," and no explanation needed. Just, "Hey, not today." So, hey, we can't shoot today because bear just ain't feeling it, So I can understand them going to CGI animals. But I just can always tell when it's full CGI and it's a bit, that bear seemed just a little too, the movements of the bear just felt a little too, maybe that's how a bear moved, but it just felt, it didn't feel real. But the bear attack was pretty cool. The moment was cool. They had the bear attack the girl, and I don't know what she was thinking because she had an arrow, and it was like she could have ran, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna kill that bear," and she had that little arrow, a little skinny arrow, at a bear, and rightfully so. The bear running at her, she shot him in the neck, and the bear just like, "What's that?" And the bird kept running. What you thought that was gonna happen with that little arrow? I'm like, make it so bad that mug broke. And that's something they kept doing. I kind of didn't like that because she's supposed to be this great warrior, but she'd never check her weapons. And it ain't the only time. They had to happen like 3 times where she had somebody dead to rights and it either broke or didn't go off or something. And I'm like, okay, y'all need to, you set up a character. You gotta stay, you gotta stay relevant. You gotta stay consistent. Excuse me. You gotta stay consistent on what you want to do with that character. She's a very competent warrior, but yet she never checks her weapons. Her weapons are always breaking. It's like, come on. Which they only did that to add tension, but I didn't like them. I just didn't really like that. But it was kind of fun watching these scenes. So let's talk about that Predator. Now this Predator is kind of primitive looking. Now that's a mask, a half mask. So he has a half mask on. His mandibles. Predator always got these mandibles. Now the Predator of '87, he had like a full mask on that covered his whole face. Now I think what they was trying to say, they don't breathe. They breathe where we breathe, but they can only breathe our air for a limited amount of time. Because I think I saw him doing something and like breathing something in, So that full mask, I guess, was an update on the '87 Predator. Was an update on the way they got to breathe or whatever. And so it's a half mask, and it doesn't cover the bottom of his mouth. So his bottom jaw is showing, and he got the mandibles and all that. So, the Predator is just like all the other Predators. It observes, and then it hunts the strongest, and then it takes trophies. So it was deciding who it wants to attack, and at first it did attack the natives, and then, but I did like also they had to. I don't know if it was just the Hulu version I had, but so they had all the Frenchmen. The Frenchmen come in, and they was fur trappers. But the cool thing was they knew about the Predator, and they was trying to trap the Predator. So I didn't see that coming. I thought that they were just gonna be like, oh, what's this? And no, they knew about the Predator from animals being killed, and I guess maybe somebody eyewitness accounts, because Predator don't kill everybody it sees. It kills the strongest, take his trophy and leave. And if you in his way or whatever, that's your ass. But he don't kill everybody. So some people probably I've seen the Predator do this, and then went back and told the leader of the group, and they started setting up traps for the Predator. So I thought that part was pretty cool. I didn't see that coming. And the Predator himself, I did like, it seems like they had him, and he like, for real? And you know how that ended for them. But yeah, I like the movie because I like the movie. The girl, the protagonist, actually was good. She's a good protagonist, and she was very competent and strong and whatever. But I'm gonna tell you this: they lost me at the end. They lost me at the end because where it was believable up until 70, 80% in, and then the last 15 minutes or so got a little unbelievable. And then I was like, okay, y'all took it too far. So I'm not spoiling what happened at the end, but let's just say not just the girl, but other characters was fighting a Predator, and they seemed to, one minute the Predator was invincible, the next minute the Predator is like, it's like when you watch the scary movies when the slasher is chasing somebody, other people he just take out so easy, and then when you get to the main characters, he's stumbling and falling and can't stab straight all of a sudden, So it was somewhere similar to that, where they made the Predator so incompetent at the end just so you can boost up your protagonist. I don't like that. You need to come up with a better way. If you want your protagonist to win, which they usually do, you got to come up with a better way to make it make sense and not just make the main villain, the main antagonist, so incompetent that they just make your protagonist look good. So I didn't like that, but she did come up with some cool, little, clever ways to defeat him, and then they started getting back into the realm of, okay, this is a cool trap, but what happens next? And then what happens next is, okay, that's unbelievable. So I mean, you you're getting me and then you're losing me. You're getting me, then you're losing me. So it's a fair warning at the end. It's going to be some things that you're going to have to be like, just go with if you into it. But I think they kind of messed up their own movie because you had a pretty good, decent, believable movie with good action, and then just so you can give that heroic moment and defeat the bad guy, you did some impossible stuff. I think they kind of discredited the movie by doing that. But on the whole, the movie was pretty good, and had a lot of fun watching it. And it's better than that 2018 Predator, that's for sure. But I would tell you what, Predators was actually a little better than this. A lot of people don't even really know about Predators. This came out 2010, starring Adrian Brody. That was actually a decent Predator movie. I went back and watched it. I'm like, that was actually pretty good. But I'm tell you what, the Predators, I know they tired of taking L's. Like, I'm just thinking, they come here, they got all this technology, they strong, they big, and they always get killed. How many times the Predator got killed? That's the first one, 87, dead. The second one came out, I think, 90, dead. The AVP, the Predators was getting, taken out left and right. Predators take a lot of L's, man. I was thinking like, you know what, we want the Predators to. I mean, we don't want our protagonists to get killed, but come on, man, for real. The Predators, they not seen tough no more because they keep on getting beat, and they use the classic line. I cringe when they did this. If it bleeds, we can kill it. They didn't need to do that. I mean, I know that's something that person could say. Like, it wasn't out of that person's character to say that. It's just that line is so iconic. I just don't want to do. I just don't want them to do that. No callbacks. Just stop with the callbacks. They did link it to the. I did do some continuity. That okay. So if you saw Predator 2 at the end, after he defeated the one predator, the other predators was like, I guess they was watching and with their stealth, and then they just gave him this old gun, and it was like, all right, and then walked away. They actually had that. She had that gun that they gave him at the end of Predator 2. It was like an old gun from the 1700s. So it was like which I don't understand how they got it now. And so in Predator 2, the reason why he gave him that old gun, because that was a comic tie-in to that movie where that gun came from. So you have to read that comic to know where the hell that gun came from. It really didn't need to be in there, but whatever, it was cool. But so the movie was good, man. I had some fun watching it, but like I said, the end you got to kind of go with. It's a bit unbelievable, so take it or leave it. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a rating, man. I had some fun with it. I want to give it a. I guess I can give it a low dope, real low dope, because like I said, the ending kind of made me mad, but the whole the movie was enjoyable. I actually watched it and liked it. I wasn't so unentertained that I was like, I just need to finish this. But it was actually enjoyable. But the ending was a bit unbelievable, but it still was fun. So give it a low dope. And so that is my review for the Predator 5 Prey. So anybody checking out the video, and anybody still watching, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you get alerts in time. I post new videos, or if I live stream, we'll be live streaming real soon. Working on my setup, and I will be back live streaming. So check me out. Check out our sports channel. We will be live streaming on Epic Sports Critics as well. So check that out. All right, out of here. I'm out of here. Peace.